Hi, it is day one on the Appalachian Trail. We have put in about 13 and a half miles so far today, and we're just kind of cruising down to whatever the shelter is at mile 14. I think it's 14.4. So we went through all the gaps and all the mountains and had a pretty decent start at about, 8 o'clock. We're getting a little darker here, so I wanted to film before I got into camp. Also, this is a very crowded shelter, so I didn't want to bother people with me videoing and hey, look at me, and when they're doing the same thing as me, the Appalachian Trail. So a lot of things went on today. Rain mostly, and then we got to, at about noon, we were at 8.8 miles. It was fairly easy. A lot of circumventing the mountains, which is what we're doing now. This is kind of a gentle, gradual decline, but it's a lot different than what I was experiencing in New Hampshire only a week ago. So it's been fun. The whole day has been kind of a learning experience, and basically every time you stop, you got to check, your fluids. You got to make sure that when you get to an area where you can get water, you get water. And then if you carry a little extra water for a while, that's okay. This section we're doing now, the second half of the day, there's no appreciable water, so we loaded up at the shelter and have come down, went over 2 climbs and then down. But all in all, it's been a pretty decent day. Just achy. Feet are achy, back's achy. Slept in the tent last night. We made it to the top of Springer, and you'll see that video before this one. But I made a big rookie mistake, which I'm known to, in that I didn't take off all my wet clothes before I laid down in the tent. I still had the pants, which were still a little damp. They didn't feel it on the outside, but they were on the inside, and that got me shivering. I changed out, put a whole bunch of stuff on. I was able to make it through the night. It poured rain all last night, which was, it was fine. We were in the tents. Just this morning, there was a gap in the rain, so we packed up and then came. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's been raining the whole video, but it's been raining pretty much the whole day, and we're heading this way. But yeah, it's not much to report other than kind of lost my train of thought. Other than it's just been a big, a rainy day, but it's a first day. We're going long. We're doing 14 plus today, which wasn't really in the plan, but we got to the first place so early, and that first section was fairly easy coming off of Springer. It was mostly downhill, so that seemed doable. And then, we figured we'd get a little of the same, but we did get a couple good climbs, fairly steep, and after the last one, which was at Cooper Gap, we came down to that. It was, looked like we were going to go right back up a mountain, and we've been traversing the edge ever since, which has been a break on the legs. We'll have to look at Far Out app to see, you know, what we need to do going forward as far as mileage and whatnot, because I'm not carrying a Bear can, and I know there's a 5-mile section that everybody talks about, so it's just a matter of, you know, getting there and looking at the Far Out app and figuring it out. So, but yeah, if you guys like this video, you know, hit like. You want to subscribe. This is day 1. You know, like most people, I'll be about a week behind on my posting of these videos, but I will try to put my a daily picture on Instagram or my Facebook page if you want to follow that. I think it's just Dave_Abbott or Dave.Abbott for Instagram, and then maybe Dave Abbott on Facebook. I don't quite know. So we're gonna talk for another moment, but I'm gonna change the orientation of the camera. Get me out of it for a little second. And now we're gonna walk down the trail like this, show you what we're dealing with. It's pretty tame. It's kind of nice after the day of climbing that we would get this. Oh. But I think when we get down to the shelter, set up camp, eat some dinner, pack my electrolytes into my body this time instead of just in the backpack, and then try to work out the sleep system. I did a pretty good job with it, but of course we always want to work at it and get a little better. One other thing we did when we had lunch, we stopped at a shelter, met 3 through hikers, 2 guys and a gal. One was from Washington, one was from British Columbia, and one was from Rhode Island. So it was nice to start the trip actually, you know, just having a good conversation. A lot of people faster than me, but that doesn't matter, does it? We're all out here. We're all doing it at our own pace, our own time. I'm looking behind me because my shadow should be back there. I think he had to make another equipment change. That's one thing, not to meander, but finding kind of the right equipment, the clothes, you know, changing from one thing to the next, and spending your time. Every time I went up a mountain, I had to, you know, decrease the amount of stuff that I had on. And when I came down, I had to throw something else back on. So it's been a lot of trading that out. I run fairly warm, but I find that I run warm at night, and then by the morning I'm very chilled, so it's hard to get going. But we were able to get out pretty good, and that's about that. So if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next one. This is Dave signing out. Get your bucket list, get going on it. Happy hiking.